Today we are in the Naiharn gym in Phuket, Thailand, and we are going to be doing a lower body and abdominal T3 workout. This workout should take about 25 minutes. Now regularly I want everybody to do 3 sets. Today, just for demonstration purposes, we're going to do 2 sets of each. Like all T3 workouts, it's going to involve a resistance training exercise followed by HIT, high intensity exercise movement. Today we're going to start with the close stance squat. With the squat is our RT exercise. The next exercise, the HIT, is going to be jumping jacks. Now the squat stimulates the largest muscle group in the legs. In fact, it activates your glutes as well, so it's a full lower body exercise. But we're going to consider it quadriceps today because we're going to take a closer stance than normal, taking it about hip width apart, which works the quads on the outer area a little bit more dominantly than the rest of the leg group. So Yulia is going to be going through her first T3 workout, and she's a very, very athletic girl with a lot of skill in the gym, so we're going to see how she takes it today. Yulia is ready for the close stance squat. Now, when we squat in the gym, we have so many different options on how we're going to do this. What our foot position is going to dictate what portion of the leg group that we're working. Now, I find an underworked portion of the legs is the outer quads. And this also gets the hips in line perfectly with the shoulders, and it allows us to use really perfect form on a squat and see our inflexibility of our hips. So Yulia is going to start with 12 repetitions, and following this RT exercise, there will be an HIT exercise of jumping jacks for 30 seconds. Let's go. Let's see her squat. Perfect. Now, as you see, Yulia is going far down. She has a great squat. She has a healthy squat. Her hips are flexible, so she's not being pushed forward, and she's able to keep her weight on her heels. Great squat. Now, when you're going through this exercise, you always want to make sure that you're keeping the pressure on the heels, not rocking too much forward to the toes. That's a different specific exercise, and we're staying away from that today. Good, Yulia, almost at your 12. You got it. So now it's the HIT jumping jacks. I always want everybody to just shake it off a little bit. Those were a big pump in the muscles. Now it's time to get the heart rate up. This is what the HIT combination is all about. All right, Yulia, 30 seconds jumping jacks. Yulia has an extra high jumping jack. She's very athletic, and she practices plyometric training as well. So it shows right here with such a light hop on her jumping jacks. Jumping jacks are a really underrated exercise. We don't realize how beneficial these are to our body. There's the shock, the plyometric muscle contraction, and there's hip abduction, which is working a very unused portion of the hips and working muscles that need to be stimulated. Another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. So this was one complete set of the HIT and the RT exercises. So right now, Yulia's heart rate is probably somewhere about 155. Soon it'll drop right down below 100 again, and then we are ready for the next set. What we're going to do is 30-second breaks today. If you are a beginner, I recommend taking 45-second breaks. You don't want to rush a squat. This is an exercise that requires extreme core strength and lower back stability, and the whole core belt has to be ready for another round. So don't push it, but also remember that we need that heart rate up. This is the combination of the metabolic burn that the T3 workout gives you. So today we're also keeping the same weight. We could pyramid up with the weight, but we feel like 15 pounds today, so for a total of 30 pounds for the close grip squat, this is fine for our first exercise of the day. It's going to get heavier as we progress, but right now we are very comfortable with 30 pounds. All right, Yulia, when you're ready, another 12 repetitions. Perfect. So you'll notice Yulia's perfect range of motion. She's hitting that bottom squat. The hamstrings are parallel with the floor, which is crucial for a really healthy squat. There you go, keeping the weight on the heels. Maybe a little bit too much there. It's amazing to see when you have a healthy squat, the knees don't come inwards because there's no tension in the hips. This is what happens when you perfectly balance your workout program to combine flexibility, agility, and strength. You get a healthy squat. Good, Yulia. Keep going to your 12 reps. Beautiful. All right, back to our jumping jacks. 30 seconds. Beautiful. So right now the blood has pumped into her quadricep muscles, into her gluteals, and into her hamstrings. And with these plyometric contractions, now her metabolic rate is going up through the roof. Her heart rate is going. The blood that is concentrated in her leg from those contractions is now going to circulate more freely because of this dynamic motion requiring energy all throughout the body. This is one of the keys to the T3 workouts, mixing heavy resistance training with a dynamic HIT exercise. 5 seconds to go, Yulia. Then you, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Perfect. So like I said, mixing these two up is the key to the success of the T3 workouts. When you combine these two aspects of physical training, you get the best results possible without sacrificing someone thinking that they're going to, for muscle building specifically or conditioning specifically. You can do both at the same time, as long as your program design is flawless, which means you have to take very careful attention to which exercise RT you mix with HIT. And of course, you can find this all on the website. I designed the program straight for you depending on what your goals are. Here we are at the squat rack. Now, we just did the first exercise of the lower body and core workout with the close stance squat using dumbbells. Now, ladies, I want this to be something that you register in the head and remember without being afraid of the word squat rack. Now, when people think squat rack, they think of bodybuilding. But Yulia has built her body using things such as the squat rack, just like a bodybuilder would do, but of course, we don't have the same diet, we don't have the same exercise intensity and resistance load. So don't be afraid of something like the squat rack bulking you up. You know by now from reading my book that bulking you up involves food. Bulking you up does not involve the specific exercise, okay? So we are going to use this T3 exercise to put on muscle while burning fat, but I do want to show you that the squat rack is something that everybody can benefit from. So if you're at home, use the dumbbells. If you're at the gym, experiment. At least experiment with the squat rack until you get comfortable with it. All right, so here we go. Yulia is going to do her third set using the squat rack for the close grip squat. All right, Yulia? Yes, 12 repetitions. So, this is 15 pounds heavier, about 7 kilos heavier than the dumbbells. So the total load on the muscles is a little greater. Now your feet are nice and close. You know what to do with the breath in, tighten the core, sink down into your full squat. Let's go. There we go. Brilliant. Now Yulia can drop into a squat a little bit faster than the average person because she's so conditioned. She has practiced the squat so many times that this is a movement that her body is very comfortable with. And usually I recommend a tempo of about 2 seconds on the way down or even 3. Yulia is using just under 2, but that's fine for her goals and for her performance level. This is absolutely acceptable. Notice the upright position of the spine even as she's at the full lowered position. She has very healthy flexibility connection between the hips, lower back, and the core. Beautiful. Now, overhead pressing from behind your neck, the squat bar, is not always recommended. So, yes, so what it would be more ideal to do would be simply to keep the bar on your back and walk into the rack and hang it up. But I admire your extra workout. Very nice. So we're going to skip the portion where we do the HIT because we have a lot of work to do today with Yulia. And at home, of course, you're going to be doing the resistance training, or at the gym, sorry, resistance training followed by the HIT, and 3 sets, always 3 sets. Today we're showing you 2, but 2 is not enough to adequately stimulate the muscle growth or enough metabolic demand to have you really burn the fat. 3 sets minimum of each exercise. All right, guys, so now we're going to move on to the next, and we're going to show you exactly what that is. Here we are with the Bulgarian squat. This is our second exercise in this particular lower body and core T3 workout. And Yulia will be showing us a Bulgarian squat, which is an exercise that I find is not done enough. It stimulates the entire muscle groups from the quadriceps, hamstrings, and gluteals, and even uses your postural muscles as well. So this is an exercise that I really recommend that everybody do. And you know what? You can do it at home. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need expensive machines. You just need a bench. All right, now I don't see many people doing this because they are difficult. Now, a Bulgarian squat will really challenge your balance, and if you don't have the balance, then it will challenge your muscles. It will challenge everything that you have. So here goes Yulia with her first set of 10 reps of the Bulgarian squat. I've never trained Yulia before. I've seen her in the gym, and I loved the way that she trained, so I told her, I said, I have to put you through a T3 workout. I noticed that there's equipment everywhere, and Yulia's not usually using it. She's getting fantastic results from doing exercises that you can do at home. Now, watch what she's doing. You can see that all the pressure is back on the heel, which is fantastic. It keeps the dynamic back working more glutes, more outside of the quad. All right. That was a very well performed Bulgarian squat. Now, if you're a beginner at this, you might want your arms out to the side. This will give you a little bit more balance. Again, Yulia is a professional in the weight room, and balance is not a challenge for Yulia. There we go. Now you can see her foot's making small corrections inside and outside, which is fantastic, but what you don't see is ever the weight pushing forward to the toe, which is keeping her knee healthy and keeping the focus on these muscles right in the posterior of the leg. Good. Now another thing I want to mention is when you're doing the Bulgarian squat, it is ideal to do all the pushing from this leg, none of the pushing from the back. That back leg is just there to support you. All right, now a lot of people who do this exercise at first, you'll see them pushing off the bench with this leg. This leg is actually trying to work harder than this leg, but the whole point is to keep everything right here, centered over, and this back leg is just going along for the ride, all right? This leg is doing all the work. That was very good. Now, high leg kicks. So our HIT exercise to complement the Bulgarian squat is a dynamic stretch, which we also use for a warm-up, but today we're using it to get our heart rate up. Go ahead, Yulia. Perfect. Fantastic. So notice that extension. You can see that Yulia has flexibility. This is not an issue for her. Now, even if you're not getting very high, even if you're only coming to your chest level, this is fine. You work at the level that your ability allows. You don't try to push it too hard. This is getting Yulia's heart rate up, even though she does this regularly. And it's challenging, again, the muscle groups of the legs and the core. When you use the leg to go upwards towards your chest and torso, you contract the lower abdominals as well as the hip flexors. Okay, switch sides, Yulia. That's 15 seconds. Next leg. Perfect. Incredible. To see leg development like this that has been done, mostly doing exercises that you can do at home, to me this is proof that if you work hard and you put the intensity into your repetitions and you put the quality into your repetitions, you get results like this. You don't need that fancy equipment. Another 5 seconds to go, Yulia. Perfect, and last one. Done, excellent. So there we have the RT exercise, the resistance training, which is the Bulgarian squat, followed by the HIT, which is the high leg dynamic kick. And Yulia's heart rate is now falling down. We're gonna wait about 30 seconds, and then we're gonna do this again. When you are doing this at home or in your gym, I want you to do 3 sets. Remember, I'm gonna stress this because 3 sets is what it takes minimum to get the adequate stress needed inside the muscle to create change. Two sets of each. You'd be getting the heart rate up, you'd be burning calories, there's no doubt about that, but you haven't crossed that line into the potential to tap into muscle building. And this is what we're really here to do. We need to build the muscle because building muscle augments metabolism. Augmented metabolism helps to burn the fat. And results just come much more easier when you mix these two together. This is what the T3 workout is all about. Now, on our second set, I should say, of the RT exercise, I noticed on the first that Yulia was too advanced to have no added resistance. So here we have 10 pounds, about 4.5 kilos, and Yulia will be doing her second set, not her final set, of course. We want to do 3 when we do this at home or in the gym, but she will be doing her next set with a progression of weight. Now remember, we cannot expect to see results if we continuously train at the same level of intensity. All right, that's why it's crucial to go up on the weight as you go with your sets because you need to put more stress on the muscle in order to allow it to overload and make the gains that you're looking for. So here we go, Yulia. 4.5 kilos. Perfect. Now, notice that Yulia took the weight on the outside of her body. This is the correct position to do. All right, it wouldn't be wrong. Yeah, let's step up a little bit more. Perfect. There we go. Perfect. So if Yulia was to put the weight on the other side of her body, it wouldn't be wrong necessarily, but it is a little bit more ideal to keep it in line with the weight, with the leg that you are working. So keeping weight directly over the lever that is doing the work is more ideal in this particular situation. Very good. Of course, if you were to switch sides, it would become almost more of a core exercise as your torso would be pulled to the side to counterbalance the weight, which isn't a bad thing, but right now we're trying to isolate the legs. So we're going to keep it like this. Very good. Switch it up. That's good. So you'll see that Yulia will, every now and then, she'll check her profile, making sure that her alignment is correct, which it is. But it is important to be body aware. As you're doing these motions, you want to ask yourself, is this right? Am I doing this correctly? Always be thinking, connecting your mind to your movements, and this way you get the most out of every rep. There's a famous saying, don't count the reps, make the reps count. I like this. I truly believe that the quality of the reps performed is a huge portion of the results that you get out of your exercise. Here we go. I'll take that from you, and you know what time it is? High kicks. 30 seconds. Got to get that heart rate up. Beautiful. That's it. So take this as a personal challenge to yourself. Like I mentioned, you don't want to push it too hard. You don't want to go outside your ability and really try to push it to a point where it's just no longer results. It's just kind of reckless. But you do want to challenge yourself to get that leg up high every time. Maybe raise your hand just a little bit. Just feeling like you're dynamically stretching a little bit more, opening up the muscles. There we go. And getting more dynamic. Another 3, 2, and 1. And switch sides. That's right. There we go. So what is also good about an exercise like this is that you start to notice your progression very quickly. You see 1 week you're doing it and your arm is straight out in front of you, and all of a sudden in 2 or 3 weeks you're over your head. And this is a very good feeling. When you see the results and when you feel the results, it's motivation to keep going, keep working hard. And that's why I love these T3 workouts, is because they involve so many different elements that you're always feeling like you're doing something new and that you're gaining from it. Another 3 seconds, 2, and 1. Good, Yulia. All right, there we have our second exercise of the lower body and core workout today. We have 3 more to go. Let's head on to the next section.